Welcome to Seoul. We are just one day away from the playing stage, looking at the battle for the last spot between BDS and the Golden Guardians. And without further ado, we will go straight into Game 1.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Let the games begin. It's a battle between the two fourth seeds from the LCS and the LEC. The Guardians, they start with Licorice on the Cassante, Riv on the Talia, Gory with the Yon, Stixer with the Kaiser, and Hui with the Amumu. On for BDS, it's Adam on the Renekton, Shea on the Maokai, Nuke on the Orianna, Crowny on the Siva, and Labrov on the Rakon. After 3 minutes, it's Shea with the Flash W into the Bramble, smash on Gory, and the Yon unbounds his soul, but will be quickly pulled back into the realms of Grey. 3 minutes later, Nuke shows us some balling skills with the Q until the ultimate. He pulls back Gorion with a little rest of his mana. He chases him down with a flash Q, takes him out, and now River joins the fight, but he's too late. He has to make his way out of there. Uses his flash to get in safe distance and onto allegedly safe ground. But this ground ain't safe because there's a slice and dice coming in by the Renekton of Adam. It's the third kill for BDS, 0 for the Guardians. The first Dragon goes to the team from Europe as well. Well, then there's a play for the first Herald. Licorice and River are working down its health bar, but Adam, Shield, and Nuke are already creeping in together with the Nature's Grasp. River will fall. Shield stole the Herald, picks up the eye now, and Licorice, he's lumping away with little HP just to be found by a hungry Renekton that takes down its prey for the third time already. And we're now going down into the bot lane. River is surfing in on the Weaver's wall, and Labrov notes that there's nothing to be found but his own death, and so he stays away and sacrifices Crowny. And for the first time of the tournament, Sweet Shelly crashes into a turret, and we now go into the bot side River where Hui spots the lurking Maokai, and against 3 members, even the mighty Treant is not mighty enough. He will be killed. Labrov is in the fight, and now also Crowny joins, and together the two they take out Stixey, trade one back, and we go immediately over to the top side River where Adam with his Gore Drinker completed just evaporates Licorice, takes the 4th kill. Gory gets slain by Nuke as well, and so it's a 3-for-1 trade for BDS. They also take the outer turret in the top lane. And this is pretty much the point where the game snowballs out of the hands of the Guardians. Because now the second Drake lands in the pockets of their opponent from the LEC. But he's now also obtaining the second Herald of the game. And the 6k gold lead will almost increase to 7,000 as they take out the outer turret in the mid lane. The Guardians, they just don't find a recipe against them, and so they will lose the tier 1 in the bot lane as well. The soul point will be obtained by BDS, and after 19.5 minutes together with Shelly, they advancing through the top lane. The turret gets a heavy beating, and the Nature's Grasp is creeping in, connects to Hui and to Licorice and Adam being the front laner, but look at Labrov. He's dancing through the enemy lanes like it was some folk festival. BDS, they are just evaporating the health bars of the Guardians. 4 members down, only Stixey survives. And this could be already the end after 20 minutes, because Stixey with the Daughter of the Void will not be enough to stand tall against this steaming BDS team. They came into this qualifying series on a mission. They were the more tenacious team, and so it is 1-0 for the team from the LEC. Game number 2, BDS, starting from the red side again with Adam on the Garen, Shea on the Maokai again, Nuke on the Azir, Crowny goes with Azrael, and Labrov, he's on the Rakon again. On the Guardians, they stand tall with Licorice on the Cassante, River on the Velvet, Gory on the Talia, Stixey on the Callista, and Hui on the Nico, and we go straight into the top lane after 5.5 minutes. Adam burns his flash, tries to get away. Licorice on the hunt, uses his flash as well, but he will be stopped by an advancing Maokai and the Bramble Smash. But Licorice, with some anger from the game before, he gives them a full rotation and almost gets even the double kill on Adam, but it doesn't matter because Gory comes by and takes the second kill for the Guardians. After 6.5 minutes, they will take the first Dragon as well. And we go back into the top lane to see Licorice again raging out on the Garen of Adam. This is not a Cassante, this is an unleashed Licorice Hulk taking the kill on Adam before the turret will take him down in return, but look how much structure he has already taken of it. And in addition, his team can obtain the first Herald of the game, and now we look at Hui deceiving everybody, playing his role as a minion to perfection, but he won't deceive the Emperor and his phalanx. He gets pulled in by Nuke and taken out by the turret. Just before we see BDS taking the second drag of the game, and now it's Shelly crushing into the outer bot lane turret. Roughly half a minute before Licorice off-screen destroys the first turret in the top line. And we're already in for the second Herald. The Guardians are all around the objective. They want to obtain this one. And he goes in with the Pop Blossom, tries to keep away BDS, but he has to take a huge chunk of damage. He gets secured by his Shape Splitter and the Callista ultimate. But Licorice, he's in the front line below half HP, and he gets taken out by the Maokai. And so BDS, they at least find one Guardian to trade him back for the Herald. 2 minutes later, the Guardians, they will secure their second dragon. But we take a look at Adam. He's about to be encountered by 3 members of the Guardians, and he does the only thing that makes sense to a warrior that faces to death. And this is bring as much death upon the enemy before you fall for yourself. And so he takes Stixay with him into the grey screen. But the Guardians, they can take the outer top lane turret. And only moments later, the mid lane tier 1 as well. And now we take a look at Nuke and River. The Belworth dodges the Emperor's Divide. But as Nuke spots the Weaver's Wall of Gory, he's shifting whole deserts to get away. But you won't escape the endless banquet of the Belworth. It's the first kill of River, who we see now together with Licorice taking Soul Point. And now it's Licorice in the bot lane taking the inner turret. And we find ourselves at the Baronesha. 3 members of BDS are walking down its health bar as Adam is trying to find the back line of the Guardians. But you will only find a huge chunk of damage in his delta, and River is now going into the pit, but Shio, he secures the objective. He will pay for it with his life, but also Hui goes down. Stixay is now trying to find Labrov, but the Rockon has too many dashes in his pocket. And so he can get away. Adam takes down Stixay, River's already fallen, Gory follows, and now it's Licorice. Sent to the grey screen for an ace for Team BDS, who are now advancing through the mid lane, taking down both turrets. And they have 4 remaining members with the Baron buff. But we look into the Dragon Pit. It could be Dragon Soul for the Guardians, and they will obtain it. River secures it, but now he's isolated against 4 members of BDS, and Licorice, he comes too late with his teleport. He TPs into his own misery, trapped in the Dragon Pit, and now Adam, he trades back Huey. And so the Dragon Soul comes at high cost for the Guardians. They lose 3 members, and they lose the tempo. They will lose the outer bot lane turret. And now it's another 3 minutes later, where BDS securing the Baronesha for a second time. The Guardians couldn't reach it in time, and now it's River trying in vain to get away through the jungle, dashes over the wall, but Crown collects the kill. The Guardians are running for their lives. Licorice at off HP, getting chased by Chio and by Nuke. He tries to get in their way, but he will just get overrun. The Maokai gets taken with an all-out over the first, then over the second wall. It's an epic play by Licorice. He now has the Maokai isolated in the bot lane. And Chio stands no chance against the Guardians top laner. We're safe to team with this play. Or maybe only for the moment, because BDS comes rolling in like a steam engine. They're bulldozing through the mid lane, and now Adam, he's going for Stixay, who survives probably only because of the Chemtech Soul. The Nexus turrets crumble. The first one falls as Licorice and Gory are trying to stand tall against 5 members of BDS. But it will just not be enough. And now the team from Europe is looking at 3 match point games. Game number 3 and match point game number 1. BDS now starting from blue side with Adam on the Garen again. Chio on the Sejuani, Nuke on the Orianna, Crowny on the Azrael, and Labrov dances with the Rockon again. And for the Guardians, it's Licorice on the Jax, River on the Ivern, Gory on the Azir, Stixay on the Xayah, and Hui, he goes with the Leona. And we go into the top lane to see Licorice there, chased by Adam and by Chio, and the Grandmaster at Arms will see a screen grayed out first. After 7.5 minutes, the team from Europe obtains the first Drake, but the first Herald goes to their opponent from the LCS. And another minute later, we see a better Jax there limping through the topside river. He's chased by Shio on the Sejuani. He gets confronted there by Labrov, but he escapes with his Q and runs as fast as his Tier 1 boots can carry him. But everything is in vain as the Arctic Assault connects, and he gets taken out for the second time in this game. As we see Shelly here for the Guardians, crushing into the bot lane Tier 1 of BDS, and now it's Shio with the Q dash into the glacial prison on Gory, and even his phalanx cannot save him from death. 13.5 minutes into the game, BDS taking the second Drake of the game, as we see Adam here doing a little bit of posing before he takes down the outer turret in the top lane. A bit more than 50 minutes into the game, we see BDS taking second herald before we see Adam with his Garen in the bot lane, ignoring every Sen soldier. He goes in with his QE on Gori and wreaks havoc on the Azir with his ultimate. He also lets the tier 1 crumble 3 minutes later before we see BDS taking Soul Point. And we now take a look at how Orianna looks in this meter. It's the Q ultimate into the E recall of her ball, and it looks like she's some LeBron James as he dances with Licorice before he gets dumped into the ground. And now we see him looking for some revenge, going for a nuke, but he's joined by Adam, who spins through the health bar of the Jax, ignites him, gets the kill, and Gori, who TP'd in, will see his screen turn grey ever so slightly before we hop into the mid lane, where we see Crowny and Shio now joined by Adam, but also by a Flamingo dancing Labrov, who goes in, knocks up 3 members with his grand entrance, and so BDS will find another kill, this one on Stixie, before they're going for the Baron Nesher. And Stampede through the mid lane, taking down the outer turret, the inner turret in the top lane just moments later, and now they stand in front of the base of the Guardians, looking for a potential entrance, but on the other side it's Licorice in the top lane, taking down their inner turret, and after 24 minutes, BDS, they obtain Dragon Soul, and now they're pushing with the remaining Baron buff through the bot lane. They're about to crack open the base, and they take down the inhib turret. And now they're looking for the inhib itself, but they won't find an angle, and so they return, looking for the next mighty Baron buff, which they will obtain. And now they come back with Adam through the top lane. And look at this mighty spin, and the Demacia Justice rains down on Licorice again. Well, we see Nuke pushing the bot lane, and the rest of the team going through the mid lane. The inhib turret falls. The inhibitor itself won't stand for long, it seems, but then Shio and Crowny decide to go for Hui. He protects himself with a solar flare, takes the permafrost, but barely, and just barely, makes it away alive. He limps back to the fountain while the rest of his team gathers around the Nexus to protect it. Stixie, he's a bit isolated away from his team, but he can only deal so much damage, and now he gets knocked up and charmed by Lavrov. He lets the feathers fly, but this storm fizzles out. The damage is just not enough. He goes down, Hui will follow, and all 5 members of BDS are looking at an exposed Nexus and at the ticket that is redeemed to join the play-in stage with 7 other teams to fight for a spot in the Swiss stage of the World 2023.